Hi, welcome to episode 38 of the Passionate Swimmer podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram. There is a Ravelry group for the podcast. Would be great if you could join. There's also a blog where I put up the video and a link to my Indie of the Week. And I think that's it. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoy what you see. And let's get started. Okay, I am wearing today a KAL that I knit myself a few years ago. It's out of Noro 4-ply, Noro Silk Garden 4-ply, I think. I used 3 skeins and I just did a waffle stitch. I'm not going to take it off because I don't want to. So yeah, that's what it looks like. It's just a simple textured stitch because the Noro yarn really does all the things color-wise, so I just knit it up. It's long enough to double. And I had, I think, 3 skeins of that yarn. It comes in 50-gram skeins and I used every last bit of it. And I really do like it. It's nice and it's surprisingly soft because Noro can be really, really scratchy. But this is nice. I like it. I got the yarn in Dublin in the shop called This Is Knit. And it remembers me of my girl vacation. I had a getaway with 3 of my friends. So that's what this reminds me of. Okay. Knitting in the past. Oh, I didn't get them. Now that's great. I am going to get them because they are here. So, today is great. And now something is stuck on my chair. Did you notice how I tried to not show you my great sweatpants? Okay, so I finished a pair of socks. I showed them last week. I had 1 sock done last week and I just finished them completely this week. This yarn here, that's the leftover, is Austermann Step. And you can see the colorway, it's 248. And this is my pair of socks. I did not wind off yarn to get them matchy because I thought it wasn't necessary. I really like how these turned out. They will go into my gift box. And yeah, 64 stitches, top down, 2.75mm needles. Just my normal sock recipe. This is pair number 10. For the 16 and 16 knit along, and they are really nice. I can use them to frame my face because I'm weird like that. So yeah, huge leftover. I will knit some into my blanket and I'm gonna put the rest in my leftover bit. So yeah, socks finished. Don't know what else to tell you about them. And I have something else finished. I finished my Millie vest, but it's still soaking wet. I finished it on Thursday. I finished knitting on Thursday. I wove in all the ends on Friday and washed and blocked it. And it's still wet. We have Monday now. So I just put it out in the sun to hopefully have it dry sometime because it's just, ugh. It's really wet. I don't get it. And I got buttons for it and that I have to still sew on, but yeah, it's done. I'm gonna show it next week. Now for knitting in the present, I of course have cast on another pair of socks in my box bag that I always use for my socks. This time it's out of hand spun and it's not spun by me. I bought this. Wait, let me make this pretty. I bought this skein of hand spun off of Etsy. The person who spun it up is, her Ravelry thing is Bockstag Knits, and this is Bockstag Hand Spun. If this would focus, that would be really nice. Yeah. See? Now, oops. This side has the important stuff. The fiber was all spun up I cannot read the colorway name. I think it's Lani Kai, but that just doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, I'm knitting this. As you can see, it's more of a sport weight. And it is quite thick for socks. So I decided to knit these on a US, doesn't exist, it's a 3mm needle. And I should really have gone up to a US 3, a 3.25mm needle, because this is very dense and it kind of hurts my fingers to knit on it. So now let's use the right one. This is where I am. I finished the heel. I'm working my way down the foot. But yeah, like I said, as it is so dense, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, it really is hurting my hands working on this. So I'm not flying through these as I had hoped, but I like them a lot. They're going to be for me, of course, because it's non-superwash, so I have to hand wash these, which will make these my in the evening after I had a bath and I want to read for an hour socks. So yeah, but I really like the colors. It's gorgeous. So let's put that back. And the other thing that I started on Friday after I finished my vest, because I had a deal with myself, I had to finish the vest before I could start this sweater. And that was a very good idea. So this is my bag that I got from Anne in a swap. I have everything in here. I have the book, my interchangeable needle set, because you know, you need that. And I am knitting The Breathing Space by Vera Välimäki. I'm going to show you the back because it's the biggest picture in here. It looks like this. And picture of the front because it's so pretty. That's the sweater I'm working on. I think I showed the yarn last week. I'm going to show it again. Now, this is Wollmeise. It's my main yarn. It's a weird different. I think the colorway is Feldmaus. Yes, Feldmaus. This is the tag. It's a twin. Nobody is perfect, which meant that it was, you know, something was wrong with the skein of yarn. I have 3 of these and I only wound 2 because I don't think I need the third one. And I already found out what's wrong with this skein of yarn in the first 7 rows when I knit the bottom, the top collar, hem, whatever, the ribbing. I had 2 knots and they were not a whole row apart from each other. So I have 1 row where I had to cut my yarn twice. And I decided to not rip it out because I didn't want to. So I'm going to have to weave in 4 extra ends. And my contrast yarn is this skein of yarn. It's a skein of hand spun that I got from Davanda. It's a German Etsy style site. And the yarn is from Ätherische Öle und Meer, which I talked about before. This is her, well, it has her whole address. I'm not sure if I'm going to show that. I'm going to show you the back because that has the important information. It's a superwash merino and polyamide blend. It's 100 gram skein with 516 meters. And yeah, as you can see, it was relatively cheap. And I really like this color. It is not as contrasty to my main sweater color as in the pattern, but I am in love with this. I started it, like I said, on Friday, and this is where I am. I finished the whole raglan in creases and separated the sleeves. I put them just on, you know, these cables, and yeah, I started the short rows. Now this is gonna be a tangled mess. Okay, I have to deal with this later. So I started the short row shaping. It is not, I mean my stripes are not showing up as as hard as in the pattern, and I think from further away you can't really tell that they are there, but I love how it's turning out. And I figured I could always knit a second one with more contrast, and this is just, it's so much my colors, it's going to be the perfect sweater. And I cannot stop knitting on this. Like I said, started on Friday. It's a fingering weight sweater on 3.5mm needles, and I am flying through this. It is so pretty. I'm going to knit all day on this today because we have great weather and I hope to sit outside. So yeah, I love it. It's going to be amazing. The only thing I want to change is I want to make it a little bit longer, because if you look at the pattern picture, I'm going to show it again. On one side it covers the hips, and the other side it's just not long enough. I want to have it here, so I'm gonna make it longer, about 5 centimeters, and it shouldn't be a problem because I have enough yarn. Of all of the yarn, I have way more than enough from my contrast, and I have, you know, 3 skeins of Wollmeise for the main color, so that shouldn't be a problem, and I really want to do that. I also thought about lengthening the stripes at the top, you know, because the short rows start right around your, you know, where your nipples are, and that's, I'm not sure if that is a good look on me, but I will find out because I did not change that. I just left it the way it is. I'm gonna show you the picture from the front. Again, as you can see, the short rows start right around the middle of her breasts. So yeah, I am going to do it like that, and I'm sure I will love it. So this is my bag that holds everything. Like I said, the book, the needles, and of course all of my yarn. I'm gonna put everything back in here, and I have to detangle everything later. This is so much fun. I really, right now, I think I can finish this by next week and show it to you when it's done, because I don't want to do anything but knit on this. It's ridiculous. I also managed to knit until my hands hurt 3 days in a row, which is something I haven't done in forever. And I shouldn't do, because, you know, when your hand hurts, that sucks. But yeah, it's I can't help myself. It's so much fun, and it's going to be the perfect sweater, I hope. So now my hairs. Okay. I don't have anything for knitting in the future because I want to finish my sweater, and yeah, I'm gonna take out something after that. Now that made sense, didn't it? I'm going to take out a UFO after that and try to finish one. And I have something in my mind. It's in this basket here. That one, you can see this here. It holds a sweater for myself, and I have it about 2/3 done, and I really want to take that one out of hibernation and work on it again. So I didn't spin this week at all, which is practically a lie, because I did spin for about 2 minutes on my spindle project, and it's this one here. The fiber on this is a Rolag set from Melanie of Bakewell Hearts. It's these Rolags, and I have, I think, only four of these. So I decided to spin them up on my KCL Woods interchangeable spindle, where you can screw off the whirl and put in another shaft. Yeah, I'm gonna spin this up and ply it for my sweater idea that I talked about last week. So this is all that I have to spin up. 1 whole Rolag and 2 half Rolags. So I'm gonna put on this half on here, and I'm gonna spin this one on second shaft and hope that this will work. So yeah, that's what I spun. And not all of that, I mean really 2 or 3 minutes, that's it. So, new stuff. I didn't get a whole lot of stuff this week, which is great because last week was ridiculous. I got in the mail 2 charm packs. They're the same. Whoops. And there are two colors, the Janine Morrison range, and it's my favorite range. I have a jelly roll, 2 10-inch layer cakes. Now I have these 2 charm packs, and I have 2 fat quarter bundles, one of which I'm going to use for my swoon quilt. So yeah, I'm obsessed with this fabric line. I'm not sure why, but I love it. So I had to get these. They were on sale, and I had a coupon. No, not a coupon, a gift card. So I got them. I don't know for what I will use them, but I also have from the True Colors range the 2 of the charm packs from the Joel Dewberry colors. So maybe I will put these together and make a quilt of some sort. I don't know. I'm going to put them in my fabric storage over here, and I will think about it. And the other thing I got, something that my husband brought me back from grocery shopping. It's the newest issue of the Simplicity Sewing Magazine. I did subscribe to this, and I will get the subscription magazines from the next issue onwards. So I was very happy that he brought me that back. And yeah, it's a German magazine. You can get it in a bunch of different countries. As you can see here, maybe, if it will focus. There are prizes for a lot of different countries around. And what I really like about this, as you could see, it's €5.50 for this magazine. And it is full of simplicity patterns because it's, you know, it's simplicity. And these are the same patterns that you can buy individually. And there is a German blogger who is called Die Hobbyschneiderin. And whenever a new issue comes out, she finds out all the numbers for the patterns in here, you know, to go with the individual patterns that are all numbered. So yeah, I am enjoying this magazine a lot for different reasons. First of all, I love simplicity patterns. They are great. Second of all, if you have a Buddha pattern, which I'm sure you have seen all before, you know what? I'm going to show this to you later in comparison. So I got the new magazine, and I'm going to talk about what I wanted to talk about in about 2 minutes. So I love this. Oh God, I'm so bad today. Well, Indie of the week. It's ätherische Öle and mehr. Her shop is on Davanda. She sells hand-dyed yarn, mostly sock yarn in different blends. She also has hand-dyed fiber, hand-carded bats, and hand-spun yarn. So I'm going to link her in the show notes. I had her linked before, and I really like her stuff. So now, reading, listening, watching. I am still reading the Shadow Falls After Dark book. It's the second book in the trilogy. And I like the series, but right now I'm stuck because I figured out why. Della, which is the main character of the spin-off trilogy, I did like her in the books, you know, the original 5 books series. But she's, you know, she's not nice. She's kind of a bitch. And that's just, yeah. I mean, I can be a bitch sometimes. Sometimes, if needed. But she appears to be one all the time because she's just so cranky, and I think that's why I'm stuck. I will finish this. And I have the third book already in my stash. Or in my stash. Oh. In my TBR, which is insanely big. And I will get to it. I will finish this series this year. Maybe I'm going to read something else in between right now. I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh, we will see. Now, for listening, I started re-listening to the Emily Lang books. It's a German series. It's a trilogy of books. and Audible put out the audiobook version, and it's 8-part audiobook series. I don't know if there is an English version for this. It's the Lucidas, Lilith, and something. It is 3 books. It's Lucidas, which is the first book. Lilith is the second book, and the third one is something else. It's by Christoph Marzi. He's a German author. And I have listened to this audiobook series 10 times at least. I put it on when I'm down here sewing or cutting or having to think about stuff, because I cannot concentrate on an audiobook when I have to do things. So this is perfect for me. I'm listening to that series, the Emily Lang series, Harry Potter series, or the Shadow Falls series, or the Mythos Academy series. Anything that I've read before or that I've listened before to, I put that on, because I cannot concentrate on something new when I have to sew or to do stuff, because I'm not listening with earbuds, headphones. I'm listening, just through a normal device. So yeah, I tend to not hear stuff for half an hour in a time because I'm sewing or concentrating, and yeah, so you didn't want to hear that, did you? For watching, I finished this series Forever, which only had 1 season, which is really, really sad, because I love that series. And I finished season 7 of NCIS, just a normal NCIS. And I really like that. I always like that. And I'm way, way, way behind, because I think they're in season 12 or something like that. So I went back to that, watching it. Now on to sewing. I did sew a pair of pants for Tim, and I cannot show it because he wears it. I did cut up an old pair of jeans for my husband, and I managed to get both of the, baby pant pieces that are that big in one leg. So I managed to sew a whole pair of pants for Tim out of one leg from my husband's pants. And he wears those all the time right now, because they're jeans. He's crawling like the Dickens. He never stops moving. It's exhausting. But it's how it should be, I think. So he needs to have something that's sturdy. So he wears jeans. And I did patch on some cotton fabric with interfacing to make it even thicker at the knees. So yeah. It's a free pattern. The pattern is called Jogging Rockers. It's from a German pattern page. But these pants are all over the internet for free, so I'm sure you can find some for free in your language. Then I am sewing a skirt for myself out of yet another Simplicity magazine. It's the last page, which makes it easy to show. It's this skirt. As you can see, she has her hands in the pockets on both pictures of that skirt, and I know why. I'm gonna show it to you. So this is my version. I am using Michael Miller fabric for it. Yeah, this is what it looks so far. I still have to do the hem at the bottom, and then I decided to change something about the pockets, because look at these pockets. Can you see it? Of course you can't, because it's, these are huge pockets here. Can you see? I can put in both hands, and I have huge hands. So these stand straight up. If I'm wearing that skirt, the pocket looks like this. Can you see that? That just looks like, it looks stupid. So what I did, and what I'm still have to do, I got white buttons that I have down here, and I wanted to show them. Come here. I went to the fabric store just to get buttons, and I did. I got white buttons because I think that the white buttons, no, The white buttons go great with this fabric. So these are the buttons, and I will sew those on here in the middle of my placket. Is that a placket? I have no idea. For my pockets. And of course I'm gonna sew the button to the main skirt down here, and I'm gonna do a buttonhole on the pocket. And as you can see, the bucket, maybe you can see, the pocket has a pleat, and I'm gonna do the buttonhole right in the middle of the pleat, so it's, you know, perfectly centered. And I think that will help with the weird standing out, because when I wore it just to try, and it really looks like this. They stand out like that, and yeah, no, that's not what I want. I also did change something, because the pattern it's a elastic waist. The pattern wants you to do buttonholes in the middle, up front, and put in a piece of ribbon just to tie and make it look sweet. No, I'm not a sweet girl. I didn't need that. So yeah, that's my skirt. It's almost done. Like I said, I only need to do the buttonholes and buttons and the bottom hem. And now I'm going to talk to you about what I wanted to talk about 10 minutes ago. After I show you the button. Because I really like how this button looks. If it focuses. Focus. Nah. Maybe I'm not going to show you the button. Isn't that pretty? I think it looks like it's knitted. I really like it. Of course, I got 3 of those buttons because I need 2 and I want to have 1 spare if I lose one. That's what I always do. Whenever I need buttons for something, I get 1 spare button. So, now, the simplicity patterns compared to the Buddha patterns. You see, I'm going to show it here. This is the pattern for my skirt. Here it says, you know, what it looks like, how you should lay it out on your fabric, and here is how to do it. It has some pictures, you know, illustrations on how to sew stuff. It has these illustrations for every pattern in the magazine. Now, I am showing to you a Buddha pattern. Now, here it starts. This is the sweater that I want to make. Layout, what you need to cut, and this is how to sew. And there's just more layouts how to cut stuff. That's the sewing instructions, and that's it. There's no picture whatsoever, no illustration. So Buddha patterns really are for people who know what they do, and I don't. So this is going to be interesting, and I'm going to have to ask the internet or my books for some help. So, okay, these are the things that I have almost finished sewing. I also started cutting a ton of things because a little fabric shop about 15 minutes from here, they do rent out sergers, and I am contemplating getting one. So I thought to myself, I'm gonna cut out a bunch of things. I'm gonna drive there and I'm gonna rent a serger for 2 days, and I'm going to try a serger and find out if I really want one and if I need one. So I did cut out another pair of boxer shorts for my husband. Here are all the pieces. I did cut out the sweater that I just showed to you. It's this one here, version C. And here are my pieces. Oh, I have a hair in my mouth. That's gross. And I really love this fabric. It's a jersey fabric that has a wool content. It's a 70 viscose and 30 wool. And these are the colors. No, wait, I'm going to show you one piece. That's just the leftover. But here you can see the nice colors for this. And I think this is going to suit me very well. So yeah, I cut that one out. And I have it all stacked, you know, pattern cut out. And then I did cut out another natty top, which is a free pattern somewhere on the internet. If you search for natty top, it's the first thing that comes up. And that's my fabric, the cutout. And yeah, so I have these three things ready to go on the serger, because you use, as far as I know, you use the serger for stuff out of knit fabric, and that's all jerseys. So I'm going to cut out some more things throughout the week just to be ready to use the serger for, you know, 4 or 5 different things to really give it a try. And also, I wanted to show something. Oh, and when we talk about sewing right now, I am going to sew my cute dress for the cute dress sew along with Isabel of the Fluffy Fibers podcast, because I wanted to make that dress forever, and I'm going to make that hopefully today. So now what I really wanted to show you is my notebook for sewing, because I am a list person. I talked about this before. I have lists for everything, and I have notebooks for everything. So this is my clothes sewing notebook. I'm just going to show this page because it's a page that has stuff on both sides. This here is the asymmetric A-line dress that I have to still sew up. I did, and I totally stole this idea from my best friend. She has something like that, and I thought it's brilliant, so I have something like that, which is a bit different from hers, but that's just because it's mine. So I did write down the name of the pattern here, where I got the pattern. This is the label that was on a fabric that I got. The size, because this pattern here is a 1 size pattern, and it's a size too small for me, so I have to change stuff. And then the fabric that I'm using, what I'm going to have to change. I draw out one of the pattern layouts, and I labeled everything that I want to do with this. And then I have just empty pages to go with this, because I think I have to write down a lot of stuff. And the other thing, this is a finished page. It's for the wrap top that I showed 2-3 weeks ago that I made for myself. It's again a free pattern on the internet. It's in German. She has different sizes. That's a piece of fabric from the fabric that I used, and I just wrote down stuff that's important. So yeah, this is my clothes sewing notebook, and it's quite full actually. I started it this year. Here are the things that I made this week. My son's pants, again with a piece of fabric, and the skirt that I just showed before. So yeah, I am enjoying this. I think it will be fun to go through this in a few years and just see what I made. So yeah. Now, that's it for sewing. I didn't cross stitch because I just didn't want to. So that leaves me with everything else. The Harry Potter along that is taking place in our group right now is coming to a close. It runs for another 5 days, 4 days. No, it's the 28th today, so it's 3 more days. I'm going to close the thread on April 1st in the morning, my time. And I will draw for winners in my next podcast, which is next week. And yeah, so you have 1 week left. No, not 1 week. You have 3 days left to put your stuff in. The other thing is the 16 pairs in 2016 knit along is going strong. We have over 300 posts in the thread so far. And I will draw a winner for that next week again. I'm not sure what I'm gonna give away, but you will see. And yeah. And the last thing I wanted to talk about. I found a YouTube channel about sewing clothes. I found it yesterday because someone on Instagram posted about it and I went and checked it out. It's called The Tailor and the Dressmaker. That's the name of the show. So if you go to YouTube and search for The Tailor and the Dressmaker, you will find this. It's about, like the title says, about a tailor and a dressmaker. The tailor is a guy and he has over 50 years of experience. And the dressmaker is a girl and she has over 10 years of experience. And they talk about sewing and tips and tricks and stuff. So the YouTube channel itself is called Gentleman Jim Taylor. And the guy, the tailor part, he goes by Gentleman Jim. And they have, I think, 20 episodes of their show up. And there are also older videos of just a guy doing how-to videos. And I did not have the time yet to check it out in full, you know, to watch a whole episode. But I did glimpse in some different episodes and I really, really like it because it's exactly what I was looking for. And yeah, I'm very happy about that. So if you want to go check it out, it's called The Tailor and the Dressmaker. And that's everything I had to talk about this week. Next week, I'm going to podcast maybe on Tuesday. I'm not sure yet because this weekend is a knitting retreat. I'm leaving on Friday. I'll be back on Sunday. And I'm not sure if I'm up to podcasting on Monday because it's going to be a very intense weekend. I know this from experience because I've been there 7 years, 8 years. I don't know. But it's going to be great and I look forward to it. So I hopefully have some spinning to share next week. Okay, that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you again next week. Until then, enjoy everything you do.